Is Lepin better than Lego? That is a question we're going to be answering in today's video.
And although I won't be going into the long essay I made similar to this topic, we will be reviewing two sets, one Lego, one Lepin.
Let's get into it.
What is up, builders, and welcome back to another VELI Bros. Vitaly and Edwards, LEGO Ideas. I'm Vitaly.
And I'm Edward, and in today's video, we will be answering the big question of, is Lepin better than Lego? I've already written a long essay on a topic similar to this, and I could torture you with that, but I'm gonna be nice and I'm not gonna do it. Instead, we're gonna be comparing two sets, a Lego and a Lepin. They're both the same set, and we're actually really excited to get into it. Right now, we're actually gonna have the speed build of the Lego set because we already have the Lepin one, so we're gonna get into that.
So here is the box that Edward and I ordered from eBay. We did pay $70, which obviously the price goes up once the set's retired for a certain amount of years.
Yeah, and as Vitaly had just mentioned, this set is sadly retired, although it is a pretty great Technic 2-in-1 set. So this came in just today, this morning, before we got to school. And obviously the box is a little damaged. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's a little damaged. So we're really excited to build this. It's the race cart, and as mentioned before, we do have the Lepin version of this same set. So after the speed build, we're gonna start reviewing them, and I'm really excited.
Alrighty, after a little bit of building the set, Edward and I have finally finished.
Here is the set. It's actually a really, really nice set, even though it's pretty old, from 2016-ish. Already retired, but it's still a really cool set, especially with the gear shifting and everything. Here, you could just see that once you push this back and pull it forward, the gears will shift. You can see it on the bottom there. And it's actually a really cool mechanic, which, not surprisingly, we weren't able to experience with the Lepin counterpart. That's the Lepin one. So after we actually built up the Lepin set, one of the most important pieces that helped with the gear shifting just snapped as soon as we tried it. So that's why it's actually broken, and that's just something else about this Lepin set. But there is so much more about the Lepin set that, like, don't buy Lepin. Why?
Edward and I even had to reference the official instructions from it, actually, because there was a gear that it told us to put on where I don't think it could really fit, so we had to actually go and use the official instructions.
Yeah, so that was another thing as well. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Lepin one's actually lower down than the Lego version, and that's only because of the front. The actual rest of the car is the same level, besides the front. There are actually, with the camera shot you see here, the pieces are actually in different places. There are different pieces used. Some pieces in the Lepin set are not there that are in the Lego set, and it's just very inaccurate. By the way, we keep mentioning that this is a Lepin set. We don't know completely for sure, but what other company takes Lego sets and makes the exact same thing with their own bricks? Lepin!
Now let's go into a little bit of a similarity and difference between these sets. First off, you can obviously tell the color. Like, the orange,
The colors between them, I mean...
Since when does Lego make, like, a neon highlighter colored orange?
Since never. That's because that's not Lego, it's Lepin. Also, the Lepin one just doesn't work like we mentioned. It doesn't work. That's the whole point of it. It doesn't work. And before, we did mention a discoloration in the actual pieces, and actually there's also another discoloration in the stickers, and it just looks awful. I mean, it looks very, very bad. Now, this may be because it's been sitting in our basement for quite a while, and compare it to this Lego one, this one's actually looking pretty good. Also, another very subtle thing I actually just about noticed between the two sets is these pieces right here. They're actually silver on the Lego version, but just some weird shade of gray for the Lepin version, which I find really interesting. Like, I don't understand why that's like a big deal, but I find it really interesting that Lepin decided to change it like that.
So, some similarities between the original Lego set and most likely the Lepin knockoff would mostly be found on the underside of the sets.
Yeah, so surprisingly, the technicality and all the gears and everything are literally the exact same way on both sets. That's kind of surprising, seeing as Lepin isn't very great most of the time with this stuff like this.
No.
I also find it interesting how there are different designs on some of the pieces. As you can see here, this is the Lego version, and over here we have the Lepin version, as you can see, where there are like some extra pieces of plastic sticking out.
Okay, now over to the top of them. So when you put the Lego one into forward gear, it rolls nice and easy. This is for speed, as you can tell by the piston, it moves fast.
And when you put the Lepin one into forward gear, it just kind of squeaks and like it's stuck a bit.
Yeah, the tires skid and it doesn't want to move.
It's very... Do you guys... Anyway, yeah, the Lepin one's kind of weird. It doesn't even work. So, like we mentioned, the gear shifting doesn't work, so we can't really, like, properly show you guys what it's like on first gear. But, yeah, there it is. So.
And then, when you put it on second gear, which is meant for it to, like, go with more torque or whatever, this rolls fine.
And interestingly enough, the Lepin one, I guess the gear thing does work, except it doesn't tick into place. You kind of have to keep it in place for it to even work.
Yeah, it's very loose.
It is very loose. It's kind of interesting. I gotta give it to Lepin, though. They're very consistent with, completely copying Lego's design.
I mean, they outdid themselves, really, in completely copying how it looks, except changing the colors a little bit.
As they do with most Lego sets. I mean, there are a few things that are inconsistent here. Like, obviously, the whole part of the set, the whole gear shifting. Yeah, so honestly, this Lepin set, although it does look very similar, and they did a
pretty good job of copying it.
Yeah, pretty good job of copying the Lego set, it doesn't function as it should, it's really not the best set. Like, Lepin is not that good. Interestingly enough, they are allowed to do what they do because of a few things that have happened in the past.
Like patents being expired, and
as I mentioned in the intro, I did write a whole essay on that in 9th grade, but for your sake, I'm not gonna read through it. Unless you want me to. If you want me to read that through that and just make a whole video on it, let us know.
it is pretty interesting. I mean, I read it. We could make a whole video on it.
So this Lego set is really a nice set. If you guys have this set, let us know in the comments down below. And if you have the Lepin one, shame on you. But I guess shame on us. But anyway, still let us out in the comments down below. If you have both, that'd be so cool. Let us know as well. And that would conclude today's video. We've never done this kind of thing before, so it's really nice being able to do it.
Anyways, that is going to wrap it up for today's VELI Bros video. We thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in. Subscribe if you already haven't. And we are hosting a Lego stop motion contest.
It ends very soon, so go enter whatever stop motion you have. It'll be linked into the description down below. So like the video, subscribe, and we hope to see you guys in our next video.
I'm Vitaly.
And I'm Edward.
And we're the VELI Bros. And don't forget, live life Lego.
Is Lepin better than Lego? This is the big question we'll be answering in today's video. And although I won't be going into my long essay I made in 8th grade about this exact topic, we will be reviewing 2 sets. 1 Lego, 1 Lepin. Let's get into it.